Okay, so guys, if you're wondering why I am showing you the outside, like lately I've been doing some videos where I'm just, instead of pointing the camera at myself, I'm pointing the camera out there. See, right now I'm inside, and it's because outside is too hot. So it's too hot, so I have to do these for now, these videos from indoors. And yeah, I just like to point the camera out that way. And what else? Oh yes, and the reason why, like, whenever I'm pointing the camera, whenever I'm videotaping outside, the reason why I don't talk in front of the camera is because it's too loud, because there's traffic and everything, and it's too loud. I did one video, I think I did more than one video talking in front of the camera on the balcony, and my friends complained that they couldn't really hear me. They could hear what I was saying, but they had to kind of really make an effort to hear what I was saying. So that's why for the videos where I'm out on the balcony, I'm behind the cameras because of that problem. But I'm hoping you guys don't mind watching cars and people. Anyway, so I want to tell you guys about encounters with angels. So encounters with angels are fun, right? Sometimes angels will come for a specific reason. Other times they will just come to have fun with you, and I will give you some examples. Okay, what's today? Today, I've already done a few videos and I keep forgetting the date. So today is July 10, Wednesday, July 10, 2019. And it is now 4 minutes past 3 o'clock. Okay, so I hope my video will not stop. Sometimes this camera just stops. It's supposed to stop every 30 minutes. That's the limit for recording, but sometimes it stops recording after 15 minutes or 7 minutes. But anyway, hopefully it won't stop recording sooner than 30 minutes. Okay, you know what? Okay, let me see. I've had many encounters with angels, guys. All right. So one time I was in this building. Okay, I was doing Meals on Wheels at the time, and I was delivering a meal to somebody on the 4th floor. I think the building had 4 floors, so I went to the very top floor. Okay, and I exited, and then I made my way to the person's apartment. I knocked on the door, and before I knocked on the door, I was hearing a lot of commotion. Commotion means a lot of noise, something happening. So something like maybe something intense. Commotion, it's when something intense is happening. So commotion, you spell C for cat, O for open, M for Mary, O for open, T for Thomas, I for India, O for open, N for Nancy. Did I get that right? COMOTION. I hope I spelled it right. Okay, so yeah, so there was a lot of commotion right before I knocked on the doors. So I knocked on the door, and then the resident opened up the door. And normally he likes for people to, go in there to deliver the meal and just place the food on the counter. So that's what I did, right? So I did that. So I went in there, and because sometimes residents, they don't prefer you to go in. They just want you to hand the food to them and then you go. But this resident, he prefers that you go there into his home and place the food on the counter in the kitchen. So I went in there, and all the commotion that I was hearing before I went into the place was the resident. They were talking and they were arguing, okay? But the resident was there by themselves. So they were arguing with something that normally people couldn't see, right? So but I knew what they were. Okay, so after I placed the food on the counter, I said, have a nice day. And he said, okay, thank you. And then I left. And as I was leaving, he closed the door. And again, the commotion, all the talking and the arguing. And like, really, the arguing was really intense. Like, it was really, the resident was really, really like angry, So then I felt really bad. But I made my way to the elevator. And as I was waiting for the elevator, like I pressed the button and I was waiting for the elevator, and suddenly I could see everything that was going on in this resident's apartment. Okay, so I could see that there were hundreds, I would say thousands of demons in this resident's apartment. There were thousands of them, and it was very, like in other scenes that I have seen demons in rooms, and it's so crowded that they can't move, but yet they can still move. So it was the same thing in this resident's apartment. There were thousands of demons in there. It's like they couldn't move, but they could still move. So they were just in there, and they were tormenting this resident, and the resident was arguing with them, and I was so grieved, and I was just standing there, waiting for the elevator, and in my mind I'm talking to God. I said, Father, I don't know what else to do. I don't know what to do. Please help. These things are tormenting this resident, and I don't know what to do. Please help. So after I said this, suddenly these angels started coming out of the elevator. The doors had not yet opened because the elevator had not yet arrived. Okay, the doors were closed when the angels started to come out. Now these angels were 12 feet tall, and they were all carrying swords. Okay, so they started coming out one at a time, and they started heading down, way down the hallway where I had just come from the apartment, and they turned, they turned the corner, and they kept going they kept going all the way down, all the way, like when they turned the corner, like when they exited the elevator, they went down to the corner, and then they continued down the other corridor. You couldn't see it, but I could still see everything that was happening, even though I was where I was. And they continued, and they headed all the way to the resident's apartment, and they started walking through the door. All of these angels, many of them, they walked in, and they with their swords, they started to slaughter all of the demons in this resident's apartment. The angels were taking these demons' bodies and slashing and chopping, and they weren't even stabbing, okay? They were slicing body parts, removing heads and legs and arms, and slicing torsos in half, and it was very violent, a lot of carnage, okay? A lot of violence. And so then I was watching this taking place. I could see everything, a lot of violence, and then suddenly these demons, they were just gone. Right? The demons, the angels dealt with the demons, and they disappeared from the apartment. So then the doors to the elevator opened, and I was so relieved. I was saying, Father God, thank you so much for helping this resident. I'm so relieved. I did not know what to do earlier. So I asked you, and then